Hey there, Midnighters and Moonlighters. This is your closer-in-chief with a quick check-in. Thank you for showing up for the Nightwatch with us. Tonight's episode is split into two parts. Help us keep pace with the grind of the day job and production, and helps you get through an episode without zoning out like it's the fourth morale meeting of the month. We're kicking things off with part 1, Hunger Ain't a Game. And if you've still got time on your commute or dishes left in the sink, check out part 2, Patching Tires, right after. If you've ever had to choose between a gas station tuna sandwich, a second cup of coffee, or a little extra gas in the tank, hit those like and subscribe buttons. This one's for you. What's up, Big Smoke?
Chief, I'm having a good time, man. Despite the circumstances, I'm having a good time.
I gotta talk about circumstances, man. Just getting back to this table was a process in itself. I mean, it's been, what, 2 weeks since we recorded?
2 weeks. It's kind of like we make plans and then life happens.
Yeah.
I mean, what can you do? I mean, being the kind of guy I am nowadays, I'm kind of like, life happens, just keep going. Just keep going. And I understand that, things happening in day-to-day life and you have to make, alternate decisions to what you have planned. I'm glad I don't have to live like that anymore. I just, I'm going to be here. I'm going to be here. I'm not, someone's getting shot on the side of the road. Okay, don't look at it. Go around it. I shouldn't have looked that way. Just keep going. Keep your head down. Don't look anybody in the eye. Just keep going. I got places to be, things to do. Yeah, so for me, it's but I do understand, things getting in the way of what you want to do, and then you succumbing to that kind of alternate thinking. But like I said, I'm glad I don't have to do that anymore. I'm by myself. I don't have to alternate my plans or I don't have to do that anymore. So I'm good as far as that's concerned.
Yeah, the phrase herding cats like cattle, man. You're trying to not only line up my own schedule, line up everybody else's schedule, even being doomed today almost from the start with, Jolly not being able to join us.
Yeah, I mean, that is something, man. Try to get all three of us in the same room at the same time for a number of takes or hours even.
Yeah, I mean, you see it all the time whenever it comes to trying to make any kind of plans in adulthood, right? One of the big issues that I've always had with running D&D groups was scheduling.
Right.
They say a beholder or a dragon is not your worst enemy in D&D. It's scheduling. It really is, man. I don't know if it's, maybe that's why I'm so good at it now of trying to figure this stuff out, is because of just years of practice, that kind of stuff. But
that's probably why I don't have patience for people who seem to get everything done in their life that's not important, but then you give your word to do something, and then all of a sudden, well, that's the one thing you can break. That's the one thing you can, renege on. I can't make it because of my reasons. No, fool. You said you're going to be here. I'm going to give you the side eye until the day I die, because remember on that day 20 years ago at 3:00 you said you were going to be here, and then now you're not here. I'm worse than your ex-wife in that kind of regard. I'm going to remember the things that you don't do rather than the things that you're that you do that don't matter. Kind of like when my ex-wife was like, well, I don't think I should do that because it should be a 50-50. Well, look, I'm not saying it's not a 50-50 thing, but I'm asking you to do it. You should do it. Well, I don't think I should. Tell her boss at work. Boss says, hey, I need you to do this. Yes, sir. Right away, sir. I'll do that when you say. I'll get it done right now, sir. Like, What the? Are you secretly married to this guy? Because you do a lot more than this dude says than you do for me. Woosah. I don't have to deal with that anymore.
Yeah, there's definitely that commitment issue, right?
Yeah.
You give somebody your word you're going to do something, you do it.
Follow through.
It doesn't have to be in writing. It doesn't have to affect it and be brought up on a job performance review.
We shook on it.
Yeah, exactly. Talking about issues in society today. Man used to live by the bond of his word, and now you can't trust the guy as far as you can throw him these days.
He's like, once he walks out the door, like, fuck, that's done.
Not to say that this stuff applies to Jolly. He's going through some
life.
personal issues.
Just life. Jolly is being Jolly, and he has to do with his things. It's kind of like none of these things happen on the days that we didn't have the podcast.
Mm.
It's the day that we have the podcast. It's suddenly all this stuff. Trees are growing up out of the ground. I mean,
cats and dogs.
Yeah. Sudden thunderstorms. We have a sudden snow break in the middle of June. Get 3 feet of snow in July on this day of all days. I mean, not when I have to go to work, but when I'm chilling.
They say everyone has a plan until you get hit in the face, right?
Yeah.
Every recording day is getting hit in the face.
Get hit in the face every time we come up with an idea. Let's secretly do it on Monday, not Tuesday. Hey, everybody, the universe, we're going to do it on Tuesday. We're going to really do it on Monday. Do it on Monday. So they can't catch us slipping, catch us when we're on the toilet, no toilet paper,
Well, there was an old comic. It was talking about Roosevelt. Whenever President Roosevelt, whenever he died, said, death had to take him while he was sleeping. There'd also be a fight.
Yeah, it'd be a fight.
And the webcomic that I saw was this perfect thing of, Grim Reaper's coming up to this bed, and there's this body in the bed, and he goes over and he pulls the sheet down, and it's like a straw man stuffed dummy. And, Roosevelt standing behind him with a knife. That's what we got to do, man. We got to be prepared.
Got to be prepared.
Tired of life taking us by surprise. We're going to start taking life by surprise.
Yeah. And that's how I feel about it sometimes. Making plans with family. Hey, look, we're gonna take this trip on this day. Need you to pick me up at the airport. One of those old, one of those old tropes. They got the itinerary. They got the time when I'm gonna land. Hey, I'm here at the airport. Oh, you landed already? Wait a minute. What do you mean?
I'm putting my shoes on right now.
I put the tracker on your phone. You can see the little icon of the plane flying across the United States.
Yeah, but I mean, talk about airlines today. The odds of you actually landing when you're supposed to.
That's true, but you got real time tracking now. These things are better than Uber. They know exactly where you are and when. And I've watched it. I actually paid that $8 for that onboard the plane kind of internet.
Mm.
And it says, we'll be landing in 5 minutes. We'll be arriving. And the same thing that's saying on my phone is on my kid's phone. I'm like, and so it's kind of like, what are you guys doing to the point where you don't hear that loud ding on the phone that says, hey, look, your dad is at the airport. And they're 25 minutes from the airport.
Mm.
So now I got to sit around with all these weirdos. And I mean, some of them are freaking weirdos at the airport. And I'm like, God, man. And so now they get mad at me. I'm like, I'm just going to get an Uber. No, Dad, you're spending money. Look, I don't like sitting around.
I'm missing out time to spend with you because you're running late.
Yeah. I mean, hey, and I'm going to say something that's incredibly racist, but here we go. Black people have a hard time with time. They do. They have a hard time with time. I say 1:30. I really want to say, hey, I'll meet you there at 1. Because I know their ass is going to show up at 1:30. So I say, hey, 1 o'clock. Be there. And sure enough, as sure as I got 10 toes, these fools show up at 1:30. time. And I have a problem with time. I mean,
you don't have a problem with time. You are just very intimate with time. You are right up, cozied up right next to time. You know how to stay on top of it.
Oh God, it just.
I, on the other hand, have the exact opposite problem. For me, time has no meaning in this weird existence that we live in. It's a concept to run trains better and more efficiently. I don't know why I have to, work my entire life around this thing that ticks by at a consistent, steady rate. It's like, look, I get it. There is an organizational tool and method developed around time. I get that. And obviously in situations like you're just talking about where, you're trying to get multiple people organized and together and trying to get somewhere to do something, time does become very important at that point, sure. But why does it matter if I'm 5 minutes late to work? I'm going to show up, I'm going to bust my ass, better than anybody else that shows up 10, 15 minutes early. You know what I mean? Why I catch a side eye from the boss just because I walk in just a little bit late? I'm here, I'm dressed up.
It's funny because you walk in the same amount of time, like beyond the time that you're supposed to show up. Like I've watched the clock. You're supposed to be there at 2. You will show up between 2 and 2:01 exactly. It's like, and then boss man is looking at us like, "You talking late again? You talking late again?" I'm like,
well, you know what it is. I got it timed down to a science. I know it takes me 9 minutes to get here. No traffic, no red lights. 9 minutes to get there. I should say from here. If anything
gets in the way of that,
deviates from that, I don't plan it for those deviations. And again, when it comes to commuting for a job, that is taken into consideration of being a part of, to me at least, a part of the job. Now that is time out of my day that is spent specifically for that job is in that commute time.
Not getting paid for it.
Not getting paid for it, right? So that is going to be, for me, reduced down to a bare minimum as much as I can. I'm going to spend as much. You know what? I'm paying rent. I'm paying rent, so I'm going to make the most out of that payment. Every penny's worth out of this apartment that I'm going to get.
Hey, don't have to worry about me because I see it, and before I never accepted it, but now I'm like, people are people. I mean, there was a song about it, right? People are people. Like, hey, I get it. I mean, before being in the military, God rest your soul if you were late on my watch. I was like, okay, you're the bone and I'm the Doberman pincher and I'm hungry. I'm going to chew. I'm going to chew. And my teeth are sharp. I'm going to chew.
Now, I will say that when it comes to the military, that is a whole other monster.
Yeah,
that is something that needs
that is
to
a
be
different monster,
well-oiled
right?
machine, and it never is. But, wherever you can take that control, that needs to be disciplined. It needs to be well-organized.
And it's funny is that I learned, I guess I did learn more. My acuteness to time was in the military, but the military was just as bad. We're supposed to be leaving at 4:00. Everybody gets there 4:00. Then like some of the higher ups get there at 4:15, and then their boss gets there at 4:30, and then we finally get the move to move out at 5:00, and then we end up leaving at 5:15. So it's like,
well, because I mean, I've heard why that happens. Company commander says, "All right, be there at 5:00." We're gonna get everybody. All right, so everybody's got to be there by 4:45, and then it gets passed down. Sergeant says, "All right, everybody's got to be there by 4:30."
Just
platoon leader's like,
time to go. Okay, where's Johnny? Oh crap!
But now everybody else is in formation at 3:30 in the morning, and nobody going anywhere until 5:00. It's.
And I was guilty of that. They say be there at 4:00. I be told, hey, be here at 3:45. Because we got to check everybody out. Somebody will forget, and I'm not kidding. Will forget their cover. That's the hat. They'll forget the hat. They'll be like, how could you leave the barracks without your cover on? I mean, and why are the 30 people who are with you? I remind you, hey, dog, where's your hat?
Right, yeah. I mean, that's really when it comes down to just, your team failed you. That's
where's your hat?
You fucked up, but your team let you down, man. It's, wallet, phone, keys, hat.
Yeah.
Add one more thing to the pat down.
And we're all sitting in formation. Everybody's looking at this fool without his hat. Like,
try to keep his eyes down, hoping nobody notices, but you're the one guy out of 50 other guys that all look the same, except that one guy ain't got his fucking cover on.
Like I said, it was the same kind of hell, but it was fun. My ex-wife never understood that. I said, how do you like? I said, you just don't understand. You get a bunch of idiots together, and then everyone's being idiotic together, and it's a big joke that everybody enjoys. In some ways, I really do miss it. And then I get the whole, yeah, but I'm free to do whatever the fuck I want now. So I'm not really. It's weird how you can miss something that kind of stifled you in a way.
I was going to ask, would you do it again? Would you go back and do it again?
Hell no.
No?
Hell no. I mean, I got to see a lot of wonderful and mysterious things, but it felt a lot of it was at the point of a gun. Like, hey, you got to get up and do this now. I'm tired. I don't want to get up and do this now. I don't give a crumb. You got to get up and do it now. Hey, you got to be up between the hours of 12 midnight to 3 a.m. or 4 a.m. because that's your shift to be up to watch for nothing. But I don't want to be up between midnight. I don't care. You got to do it because these stripes on my shoulder says I can say you have to do it, and the no stripes on your shoulder says you got to do it. So I got to get me more stripes. That's what they were like, dude, I want to sleep through the night. I got to get more stripes. That was the deal. Nah, I would never do it again. Because now that's a caveat. Because then I'd have to be able to know the things that I know now.
From that experience, yeah.
From the experience that I had. Because if I was the same stupid, I mean, I've always wanted to be in the Marine Corps or in the service really since I was 8 or 9 years old. Because I was like wanting to be like my older brother. So if I knew at 8 what I know now at 55, no, I wouldn't have done it. I would have been a garbage man or something.
Still getting up at 4 in the morning.
I would have got up at 4 a.m. in the morning, but I would have been getting paid at 4 a.m. and getting off at 2 p.m. And then I can go home and do whatever the hell I wanted to do. No one was going to tell me anything. I could wear dirty socks if I wanted to. My uniform could not be washed that day or the day after or the day after that. And no one's going to give me any hell over it.
Going to get court-martialed.
Yeah. If I didn't shave every day or have the right prescribed haircut. Well, oh no, that top of your head, that's a little long. Only 1.5 to 3 inches. You know these fools will sometimes get a freaking ruler and measure your head to see how long your hair was?
Nope.
Yeah, because your haircut wasn't done by a specific military barber. You went out in town and got one of those mud haircuts by all those civilians out there. Johnny gave you a haircut rather than Sergeant Flavor, who been retired 15 years and can't really get out of that seat to comb your hair. No, I don't want that. I don't want that now. Never again. Never again.
Or those quick barracks haircuts, you know, the one guy.
Yeah, the barracks barber. Yeah, I forgot about those guys. Those guys made a killing because you didn't go on Saturday because you spent all your money at the club and you didn't have any money to go and get you. So they cut your hair in the barracks. Some of them were good, some of them were questionable. And usually the ones that were questionable got you in trouble. Some of those guys in the barracks, they would give you haircuts like you look like Ringo from the Beatles. That bowl cut.
They put your hat on and they just cut around
there. Just cut around it. No fade. No fade at all. Because they didn't master the fade. Oh, yeah. Heck no. I would never do that again. No. Garbage man would have looked very promising at 18. I knew I was never going to go to college. I mean, I did end up going to college, but that's only because, the Marine Corps made me go to college. I didn't even want to go to college. They said, oh, you have a talent for languages. We're going to put you in college. No, fool. I got here to not go to college. I don't want to read no more damn books. Woos. I mean, man, and then I ended up getting degrees in linguistics, and I'm like, it helped me. Like, I know when someone is talking shit about me in Japanese, and I damn sure know when someone's talking shit about me in Korean, Russian.
You could probably take an educated guess.
Yeah. Subakusin dachishasuka. No, I know that shit. Yeah, okay. Too much, but nah, if I had to go back, garbage man, definitely.
I went in because I was having a hard time getting into college myself, right? I was trying to go to college, wanted to do drafting. I was doing creative drafting design for vocational school and high school, and I was going to go to a technical trade school in PA to continue with that, right? Got all the scholarships and grants all lined up and everything. All the courses were going to be covered, but at the time, I didn't have a license, and I was needing to to stay in the dorms, right? On campus housing. On campus housing needed a security deposit for the dorm room.
How much?
$600, give or take. I want to say somewhere around there. And yeah, we couldn't come up with that. We didn't have it to spare. Yeah, my dad had already had his back injury by that point, so we were living off of the workers' comp payout at that point. Every dime was squared away. It was pre-assigned. And I was asking family for help. Couldn't get the help. I started to look for a job. Fresh-faced teen out of high school. I didn't really have any qualifications, and everyone's go to McDonald's, go to Taco Bell. Do something. I was a punk-ass teenager who thought he was too good for McDonald's. All right, I don't know where the arrogance came from. I don't know what it was, but I was like, nah, man, I'm going to go to school. I'm going to be an engineer. I'm
better than this.
Yeah, I'm too good for this, And I have learned I am not too good for that. I'm now 33 years old, and I'm not too good for McDonald's now. What you got to do, you got to do. You get those bills paid. You keep the roof over the head. You keep, do whatever you can to get groceries in the cupboard, But
yeah, that whole food, shelter,
basic bare necessities.
Basic necessities, yeah.
And even now, man, I'm still on that ramen and coffee life.
Yeah, I hear some people talking, hey, man, life is hard. Shut up. You still living at home with mom? Yeah. You pay rent? No. Shut up.
You had fast food sometime in the last couple of days?
Yeah. How often did you go to McDonald's? Maybe 2 or 3 times a week. Shut up.
You know what though? Nowadays, it's cheaper to go to McDonald's than it is to go grocery shopping. I know everybody says it, and it depends on how you budget it. It really is. You can get a larger meal for cheaper going the fast food route than you can.
I'll put it like this: I can get food at Kroger's. It's less than McDonald's and the KFC and the plethora of stuff that we got lying down on our main street. It's just not the food I want to eat. That's all. I've lost a good amount of weight simply because I stopped doing my normal routine beyond the end of the day routine that I usually have. That doesn't change very often, but I'm talking like my daily routine of like just getting up and going to some fast food restaurant and just buying stuff. I've just loaded up on the same thing and I eat that every day when I wake up. That's just, I don't go out and I don't order in. I got real bad at ordering Chinese food delivered. Oh man, I was blowing a lot of money every day on that stuff. And I'm like, dude, how many days do I have to eat, orange chicken every day? I don't need to eat that orange chicken every day. Maybe the first day I'm off, maybe that one day and only that day. And just that, I've lost a good 15 pounds.
Yeah.
I just stopped eating.
Now I will say, if you're meal prepping and doing it right, then yeah, you could get a big thing of chicken.
It's just not exciting. It's just not exciting.
Well, like you said, you're eating the same thing every day from the fast food places. If you do the same thing with your home cooked prep, yes, that becomes more cost effective that way. But I'm saying if you're going out to the grocery store to buy the stuff that you need for one meal, feed. Let's say you're feeding 4 people, right? Fast food place, go to KFC. $50, $60, you're getting enough food to feed those 4 people.
Yeah.
May not be getting seconds, but you can get enough to feed everybody.
If you
go to the grocery store, I went a couple weeks back and I bought 2 bags of chips, 3 12-packs canned soda that were on sale, a veggie tray, and dip, like a French onion dip. And it came out to like almost $70. $70, man, to eat healthy. But soda's not healthy. But a handful of snacks just to get through a couple hours sitting through a game night, and I'm paying more than what I would have paid to get a full 4-course meal for 4 people.
Yep.
It's insane. So
I look at Doritos a totally different way now. Wow, I can get 2 for $5. Yeah. But I can get the big bag for $3.29. I haven't quite turned into my mom. My mom was a diehard coupon commando. She could get stuff cheaper. She would come up with a combination of coupons that I didn't even think you could do. I was like, wow. And it was funny. It was like the cashier would say, hey, if you hadn't had the coupons, this would cost you $130. It's only costing you $57 now. I'm like, what?
I've seen the ones that they make a culture out of it. Coupon hunters or something like that. The coupon hunters. I saw it was like a mini documentary or a news story, something about that. Some kind of short story about it. And there was this woman. She come through with a full buggy, a full cart full of food. And we're talking easily would have been like $400 or $500. By the time she was done with all the coupons and all the deals, all the savings and everything, the store was paying her money.
Mm-hmm.
She didn't pay a dime for any of it, and she was getting rebates.
Credit, rebates, yeah. I remember, man, I was like still in the single digits, and I was helping my mom go through the Sunday paper, and I had my own special scissors. We cut all the coupons. Say, no, don't get that one because that's the such and such flavor, and you only get the coupon with the one that says it's the original flavor or something like that. I'm like, this is tastes better. No, get this one. So I was like, I don't even like this stuff. And like, okay, these sausages. No, I get the other sausages. You're like, what? But the other sausages are tastier. They're bigger. They're flavored. No, get these sausages. And it's like. You could look, I mean, I was a kid and I'm going, no, those sausages right there, the big fat ones that were red, like, you could look at it and go, oh, that's tasty. And then we got the skinny, anorexic gray sausage that you had to put tons of hot sauce and salt and pepper on it to make it taste like sausage. We had to get that sausage, but you got like 3 times as many of the sausages.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, what's filling your belly versus what tastes good in the moment.
And it was so, even after my mom and dad started actually making money, her habits of buying stuff didn't change. We were making money, but she was still in them coupons. Now, we went out more. I mean, Sizzler got a lot of our business later on. But we went there like once or twice a month. Like I said, when they started making money. And I didn't realize how much money they were making really until I was in my 30s. Yeah. Because I was like, whoa, where's my dad old Gran Torino? No, we got a Cadillac now. And that Cadillac it's fire, man. It's like the interior was velvet and you could not eat in that car. You could not eat in that car. You couldn't take soda in that car. Yeah, no. That was an ass-whooping offense if you thought you were going to get my dad's Cadillac. Then he bought my mom a nice Ford. I don't know. It was a nice, long, luxurious Ford that you could easily fit 6 people in. You could eat in her car. She didn't care. Yeah. But you couldn't smoke in her car. Man, and God help if you drop something in that car, you better be breaking your neck, bending down to pick it up because your eating privileges would get revoked. I mean, yeah, we were hood rich.
So I grew up with my dad being a carpenter for damn near 20 years, I want to say it was. So it was a lot of work trucks. It was a lot of, easy on gas mileage. Well, if it wasn't a truck, it was something that was easy on gas because of the, long commutes out to the work sites and stuff. But we never had anything that was newer than, 20, 30 years old when it came to having cars and such, at least not until much later on, whenever my dad worked up into supervisory roles. It wasn't until my parents went through cars almost as fast as I do. I've been through, I'm on car number 11 since 2011, and so 14 years I'm on car number.
You burned those cars out.
Yeah. Several of them were just from doing the delivery driving for 4 years. That was, and just not being very good at maintenance and upkeep on my part. Well, I mean, you got to figure back in, we're talking 2014, 2015, like really got into being as a driver. It was much easier for me to look at vehicles as disposable because I could go to a buy here, pay here place. $2,000 car, they want 10%, $200 down. I get me a car I can drive off the lot that day. Run it into the ground in 6 months to a year. By the time I finish paying it off, I can turn around, scrap the car,
do it over
for another, scrap it for $200. Guy with a flatbed comes out, picks it up, takes it off my hands, pays me out the cash. I go down to the buy here, pay here place, get the next one. You can't do that now, man. You get $100 for scrap. For a vehicle
you get barely $200 just to have it towed in, and they'll pay you $200 right now. I got people still calling me to try to get my car. I'm like, dude, do you know I've been driving?
Oh yeah,
this sucker into the ground for 2 years. We don't care, sir. We really do need the used. Because they can't sell their new stuff.
They can't sell their new stuff, and they're trying to get their hands on the used stuff, and people won't get rid of their used stuff because of how expensive it is to replace. You is now cheaper to keep maintenance on your vehicle than it is to buy something new.
Yeah.
You might get lucky on a marketplace deal online or something. But
every 6 months, I get a call from the dealership. I'm like, no, man, no. Well, sir, we look at your maintenance and you're getting up there in maintenance costs. Yeah, but my maintenance costs less than my yearly costs if I was paying you guys monthly.
Mm-hmm. Not to mention your insurance.
Yeah, I'm good. Yeah, I'm good. You can't have this car. Yeah, I've been like, I've gotten in trouble for explaining this particular stuff to certain people. So, yeah, don't do it. Don't do it. Don't. I mean, it sounds like it's too good to be true, because it is. It's too good to be true. Do what you have to do, not what they say you should do.
Yeah, and then those dealerships, they're not looking at your maintenance costs.
They're not your friend. They're not your friend. That smile, that's the kiss of the devil. Don't, you're going to get burned. You kiss that cheek, you're going to get burned. Don't do it. I hate being the old man in the room, because sometimes I hear some of these guys talking. I'm like, what the fuck you talking about? That's not even remotely true.
Who raised you to think
Let's go to your house and smack your mama, because that is the wrong thing to say. And
so
I know
you're living in la la land.
Yeah. Like, what is wrong with you? That is not how this goes. And then instead of one or two of them going, that's probably right, all of them look at you and go, no, fool, you boo-boo the fool. You're boo-boo the fool. You're just an old man that don't know shit. No, I'm the old man that's lived through this shit. That's what this really is. You haven't lived it yet.
Yeah, so when my dad was still in carpentry, we were doing a lot of the older vehicles, and a lot of the same issues of the vehicle breaks down, and that's there's no money set aside for that to fix it. There's no emergency.
He probably got underneath it and fixed it himself,
whatever he could, or his brother was a mechanic. It's probably where I get that same gratefulness. My brother is a mechanic, so there's always been a mechanic in the family. Somebody knows, and somebody's got tools that can do some stuff, and I am eternally grateful for that assistance.
Same thing with but it wasn't my dad. He would get underneath the car and dabble or whatever. But I didn't realize how funny it was when I was a kid watching him do like backyard maintenance on the vehicle. But he always seemed to come up with extra bolts and screws when he was done. And he would just stick them in this little box with all these other screws and bolts that he had gathered from fixing the car. But for the most part, for the real like switching out the brakes or changing out the brake fluid, we had people who were, I guess they were mechanics or union people in the church. Yeah. And like we would go to church and say, hey, look, I need to get this done. And I'm like, here's $75, $100. What do you need? And well, if you get the brakes and get the fluid, I'll come over Sunday afternoon and we'll get underneath there. You're gonna come with me. You're gonna come with me, and we're gonna get under there. And that's how they did it.
That's a real community, right?
Yeah, it was like they my mom's car never broke down because there was always somebody who was like, oh, my mom helped build the church that I went to most of my young life. Yeah, she got up there. She was on a ladder with the hammer, and she was hammering. Didn't know what the hell she was doing, but they said, here, hammer these nails in here. And she was up there, all 411 of her up on the top of it. And she was up there, and that church is still standing. And her name is like in the foundation in concrete. And I'm like, oh crap, literally a pillar of society, right? If my mom needed something, this is even after my dad died. My mom needed something. Of course, Mrs. We'll go do it, and they go do it. Sometimes she'd be still asleep in the house, and they're all jacking her car up, and I'm like, who? Someone's stealing the car. And they would go running outside, and all. It's just the union guys out there fixing the car. I hate to say it, but no, it's not like that anymore. If someone's jacking up your car, they're stealing the tires off your car. Call the police. They're stealing. It's sad. That's the truth.
Now my dad does gas and oil field, right? He has been for around the same time I started into pizza. He started into the gas and oil field, and he's been doing very well with that. Now now he's working all the time, so he doesn't have time for vehicle maintenance. So he goes and he
pay someone else to do it.
Pay somebody else to do it, or again, my brother, he still helps out plenty. But when it comes to what they got out on the lease, it's all those maintenance costs are covered for the most part. It's either under warranty or it's under some kind of maintenance fee that's through the dealership that covers it fairly cost effective. It used to be my goal to hit that checkbox of when I've got it made was when I could afford to get a vehicle that is from this decade, right?
Buy it new off the lot.
It doesn't even have to be new, man.
Within the next 2 or 3 years, right?
Yeah, well, so every vehicle that I had ever owned up to a certain point was pre-2000. It was a lot of 1980, a lot of 1990. Yeah, so I was like, all right, I got to get something from this decade, some 2010 and newer, and then I finally get a 2014, but now it's in the 2020s, so it's still not this decade, but I'm getting closer, man. I'm almost there. I'm almost closing that gap. But from what I keep seeing with these newer vehicles, man, I mean, computer chips and everything, and any little bump in the sensor sets that stuff off, and that's not even talking about the electric cars. I'm still talking about the full gas cars.
Yeah, that's like my car.
Your car's haunted, man. We know your
because you see I put maintenance into my car, but there was that one time I'm driving it and it just stops. The starter sensor. The
starter sensor.
Yeah, the starter sensor. It wasn't the starter. It was the starter sensor. Try to start that bad boy, and it would just like making all this weird noise. I'm like, what? Is this car about to blow up? Is it a terrorist that targeted my car? You know how I am about that car, man. That car does some weird stuff. Like, I had to get it towed. Thank God. Shout out AAA. You the man. They came and got my car, towed it to said maintenance place, and this is a starter sensor. The computer says it's a starter sensor. We'll just replace that $15. What? Thank you. It wasn't like, $5,000, but you mean I got stranded in the middle of the street because a starter sensor? Like, oh yeah,
lost half a day of work.
Yeah. So you press this button here, the sensor says, okay, yeah, look, I'm pressing this button, turn this particular part of the car on, and then the car starts. I'm like,
the car was already running.
I said, and then it reminds me back to the old days when, my Ford Ranger. Turn the key, car starts.
Ford Ranger, man, you didn't even need the key.
Yeah,
a buddy of mine had one of those when we were in high school, man. You literally butter knife popped in that thing.
Yeah, my friend had the same thing. He had a screwdriver where the ignition was.
Yep.
And he just turned it because the guy he bought it from didn't have the key. And I was like, mate, are you sure this car is not hot?
Fiddling with those wires.
Yeah, you're not sure you're not asking for an ass whooping from the cops and then it doesn't look good that you got a screwdriver in the ignition panel. Oh no, man, it's straight. Okay, man. The fact that he's selling it to you for $75 isn't a red flag. All right,
Hey, you know what though? But the motors on those things would run forever if you kept a drop of oil in them.
And he did all kinds of unholy things to that truck. My Ford Ranger, I kept pretty much the way it was since 1998, and that sucker. When I got here, all those long miles put on it over here, it was already like at 300,000 miles. And I put an extra 400,000 miles on it, just driving it around here.
Yeah. And for work,
my old baby just couldn't handle it. She gave up the ghost. I was all right. So I just got another car. But it hurt my feelings to get rid of that car. That truck was and it was a manual. Ah, man. I used to make fun of some of those cars. They'd be going up the hill, and I just throw it in the third. Just run past her, give them the old, Miss America wave, See ya, sucker, going up the hills.
Well, you can still kind of do that with some of the newer,
some of the newer ones, yeah. But
I got sport mode in mine.
Yeah, mine. It'll get me up the hill, but it won't get me up faster than anybody up the hill, and I'm cool with it because now I don't worry about being the fastest. I'm more of like, I'm going to hit the economy button and save gas going up the
hills all over the place here. So it's
and we drive them. And
well, I tell you what. So my original thought whenever I first got into delivery driving was get me a 4-cylinder, a little 4-banger that's going to be real great on gas. But then, when you got to climb all those hills and you're burning through those higher gears and burning through all that oil and burning through all that extra gas for that little bit of power to eke up that hill nice and slow, you end up spending more on gas on that. So halfway through my 4-year stint of being a delivery driver, I bumped up to a 6-cylinder, and that actually saved me a lot in the long run.
Some of the shit that we go through, I was like, and like I said, being the old man in the room, I hear people talk about the car, and I'm like, no, no. We got people in the store right now, homegirl and her wife. And she was, yeah, the car starts to smoke and stuff. I'm like, when was the last time you changed the oil? Well, I've never changed the oil. What do you mean you never changed the oil?
Oh, no. I'm about to feel called out.
What do you mean you never done that for? Your car is smoking.
Listen, man, for years, I had my brother, my dad, anybody with 2 pennies worth of common sense to rub together, telling me every time you stop and fill up gas, check the oil levels, especially whenever you're driving 100 plus miles a night. When I tell you the number of times that I did not check my oil. Until the car started making some weird noises, and I had to start checking the dipstick, and it's like, hold on. No, I put it in. Why are you still dry?
You put it in and jiggle it.
Yeah, shake the car a little bit, I was like, I'm buying a quart of oil,
Drier than a 60-year-old nursing maid, right?
And you would think I would have learned after the first car that I burnt out, coming up a hill, coming back from a delivery, and all of a sudden, engine seizes up, piston fuse to the block. What happens with my very next car? Same fucking thing. 6 months in, ran it dry, ran it hard. I now know what that click sounds like. What that clicking in the death means. I can recognize that sound from a quarter mile out, But
you all singing a Bee Gees song. More than a woman. Oh crap!
Well, back when the cars were disposable, it was that's a weird noise. That sounds expensive. I'm gonna turn this radio up a little bit. And all my problems go away.
And then later, your steering wheel starts to shake.
Yeah.
That's not good. I think I got another 20 miles in it. Nah.
It's not a matter of if, it's a matter of when.
You start thinking about how much time I got left on this car.
Now I got to be credit conscious because I got a car on payments, and I got to make those payments so they don't come and take it. And I got to keep that upkept because I'm paying on it for 6 years. I got to get at least 6 years worth of driving out of it.
All right, time to empty out the mop bucket, run the trash, and hit the lights. Go get off my time clock, and be safe getting home.